Today, I'm gonna show you how to make my version of Japanese omurice recipe. Lately, Japanese omurice has gone viral on the internet. A lot of people are fascinated by that, especially by a famous chef named Kichi. I was also inspired by him and decided to make my own. And then it came out so great. I'm really glad to post this recipe on the internet. So please watch till the end and make sure to give it a try. This recipe is not demi-glaze based but ketchup based, so it can be done relatively quickly. You can make it in 70 minutes. So let's get started by chopping the ingredients for the fried rice. We're gonna basically chop all the ingredients into very small size. We don't wanna make our fried rice too chunky. And now I'm gonna introduce all the ingredients. For the fried rice sauce, you need ketchup, red wine, balsamic vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, and sugar. I'm using these products by the way. For the fried rice, 1 chicken thigh, small diced, bacon, sliced, onion, finely chopped, shimeji or cremini mushroom, roughly chopped, peas, cooked rice, vegetable oil, unsalted butter, cayenne, black pepper, salt, and fried rice sauce, which we're gonna make. As for the rice, cook the rice with a little less water than usual. Around 90% of the water you usually use should be just right. And for the omelette, only 3 ingredients: egg, salt, and oil. You need 4 eggs for 1 omelette. So start with making the fried rice sauce. Combine all the ingredients in a pan and place it over high heat to bring it to a boil. Once it starts to bubble, turn the heat down to low and then simply reduce it until very thick consistency like the right one, which takes 20 to 30 minutes. Stir occasionally to the degree that it doesn't get burned. Once you can draw a line on the bottom and it doesn't disappear right away like this, it's ready. We're gonna use 150 grams of it for the fried rice, and optionally you can reserve another 1 tablespoon as a spare sauce, which you can use if you want more flavor in the rice. And using the remaining sauce in the pan, we're gonna make the omelette sauce. Add some water to thin out. It's easier to mix if you keep it on the stove. And this consistency is just right. It might look a little watery to you, but this sauce has much more flavor than it looks, so that's fine for omelette. Set aside. And then move on to the fried rice. As you can see from the ingredients, it's very nutritious and ridiculously delicious as it is, even without omelette. First, season the chicken with all of the salt and half of the black pepper. And then add 3 to 5 tablespoons of vegetable oil in a very large pan or wok. Heat it up. Once the oil is hot, add the chicken. Cook over high heat until lightly browned and heat it through, around 2 minutes. And then transfer to a bowl and set aside. In the same pan, add the bacon and cook over medium to medium low heat until the fat starts to render out, around 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, mine looks something like this. Add the butter, onion, and mushroom. We're gonna cook them sufficiently over medium heat around 10 minutes until well cooked like the right one. We wanna let the excess moisture evaporate from them sufficiently to prevent the fried rice from ending up soggy. Also, by cooking them for long, simply it's gonna be more delicious as the flavors will be concentrated. After 10 minutes, mine cooked really well and looks brown. Now add all the rest, which are the cooked chicken, cooked rice, peas, cayenne, rest of the black pepper, and fried rice sauce. And cook over medium to medium high heat until fully combined and just right consistency, which means not too wet, not too dry. Around 3 to 6 minutes. And now, quite a lot of the ingredients are in the pan. Be careful not to spill them out and ruin your meal. By the way, this kind of ketchup fried rice is supposed to turn out a little more wet than a regular soy sauce egg fried rice, no matter how long you cook or how strong your stove is. So you don't need to try and get the same consistency as the soy sauce egg fried rice. So I cooked for around 4 minutes after adding the rice and finished. Now the consistency is something like this. Each grain is sufficiently coated with the seasonings and looks delicious. By the way, I added all the ingredients in this order so far. And we're gonna plate the rice on a serving plate. Often Japanese restaurants plate the rice using an oval-shaped mold, but I don't have one, so I always plate this way. Put some rice on a baking paper lined serving plate and wrap the rice with plastic wrap and shape into an oval. Lift the edge of the plastic wrap a little bit and pull the baking paper sideways while you hold the rice with the other hand. That's not bad, right? Of course you can do how you like, it's your rice. And then make the omelette. Sometimes it's called the most difficult omelette in the world, but you don't need to shrink back at all. Anyone can do after understanding how to do and taking some practice. Even if you failed, the eggs should still be edible and taste okay, so there is no need to be afraid to fail. First, crack the eggs. One omelette is made of 4 eggs, so crack them as much as you need or wanna practice. But I highly recommend to crack them a little more than you think, because once you try making the omelette, you will wanna practice again and again for sure. In my case, I had wanted to practice some before filming. I cracked lots of eggs. And this is my omelette recipe. I use 20 cm small pan. I don't force you to use this size, but basically the smaller the pan is, the easier. And then season with salt lightly. So 1 gram of salt for 200 gram of eggs. Beat eggs with a whisk until smooth. If you have a hand blender, it's very useful. It can literally finish it in a second. Very time saving, right? And then start making the omelette. Add a little oil or butter and heat it up, just like when you make a fried egg. Once the pan is hot, 4 eggs goes in, and immediately start whisking with chopsticks over medium-high heat. If you're not used to chopsticks, even a wooden fork would work too. And what we're gonna do first is make very runny scrambled egg in the pan, like the white one. Continue whisking while you shake the pan, and bring the egg stuck on the edge inward. Repeat these 2 motions. Once they are cooked like this, maybe when 60 to 70% is cooked, stop stirring and cook the half of the bottom close to you for 4 to 6 seconds to set. And then remove the pan from the heat, roll the egg away from you, tilting your pan. And then return the pan back to the heat. Cook the rest of the bottom for maybe 5 to 10 seconds to set. Remove from the heat once again. Slam the pan on the counter to let the eggs release from the bottom of the pan. Loosen the edge of the omelette with your chopsticks. Tap the handle so that the egg automatically rolls towards yourself. Tap the front of your left hand, not your left wrist or left hand. You tap the front of your left hand. Slide the chopsticks in the edge of the omelette and lower the pan way down and flip. Cook the seam for 5 seconds or so to let it get sealed. And if the skin still looks too thin, cook a little more as necessary while rolling the omelette. Now mine is be able to roll in the pan. That means the inside is still oozy, moist, and delicious. If it's like this, the omelette will most likely open on the rice. And carefully put the omelette on the rice.
Moment of truth.
And moment of truth, cut the omelette. It's a real deal Japanese omurice. It's delicious and entertaining. It should probably be the best way to cook the egg. I hope Chef Kichi and Uncle Roger gonna watch and approve this. And if you wanna watch more examples to understand, watch this video. The link is in the description box, which includes some success and failure examples. By the time you watch until the end, you could most likely get the feel for it to some extent. Of course, my omelette making skill is far from perfect, but it should still be helpful to some extent. And then spoon over the omelette sauce, as well as some parsley. Looks very appetizing, right? So try this out. This is another masterpiece recipe on my channel. The egg is so moist and it unbelievably goes well with the ketchup fried rice. It's simply insanely delicious. The egg is so juicy that I can eat this dish like drinking. That's what I feel the most. The first person to invent the combination of omelette and ketchup fried rice, I don't know who he is, but he should be genius. As for the fried rice, it tastes so savory, buttery, sweet, at the same time a little spicy. This fried rice by itself tastes incredibly good. As you can see from the color, the base flavor is ketchup, and then there's some complexity by the Worcestershire, balsamic, and red wine. It's full of flavor. Nobody would describe this fried rice as monotonous. But no matter how good my recipe is, it might not look trustable to you, since I only got 10 subscribers. But please believe me and try this recipe just once. You will never regret. Anyway, it's so fun to make Japanese omurice, and I am planning to post another omurice recipe in future as well. If you wanna watch more delicious recipes like this, please subscribe and click the notification button. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.